Hey guys, welcome back to Big Brother 22 All-Stars Recap with Life After Neverland.
Hey! Hey guys, listen, have you hit the notification bell yet? How about the subscribe button? What about the like button? I would love it if you hit it like ASAP.
You gotta hit it. You gotta hit that subscribe button. You gotta hit it.
If you do it, we'll be so happy. I'll even spank his butt. You moved.
Because I was falling.
Well, let's get things started. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was Cody and Memphis. They have their alliance called the Commissioners, and then they have a tier of buddies that are in that alliance as well. And that is Christmas, Nicole Franzel, Tyler, and Danny. What do you think about that?
Is Enzo in it
Nope, Enzo is not in this alliance.
Oh, shoot.
Which I think is maybe going to bite Memphis in the butt later. I don't know. Why are they not including Enzo? That's confusing to me.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. You need the meow meow, baby. You gotta get that meow meow on that alliance, yo. You know what I'm saying? The alliance algorithm is like, it's giving me a headache trying to keep up with it, that I'm just like, okay.
It's all over the place.
I got Janelle and Kaser, and I got Cody, Nicole, and
everyone I just mentioned. The Commissioner's puppets.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was really bizarre that Memphis had never won HOH. I didn't realize that. Memphis is now taking his reign as HOH seriously.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am your new leader. Please stand in line and swipe your VIP passes. Everyone must compete or you shall be nominated.
Everyone follows the Memphis rule. And if you don't follow the Memphis rule, well, off with your head.
Memphis is on a hardcore power trip.
At this day and time, I'm very upset with Memphis, okay? I was really excited to see him come back in the house, but his head is stuck in a really weird space.
He's hazing David. He's like, okay, you're new, so you need to be punished and hazed, buddy.
So one of the things that I think is truly bizarre about Memphis is that he's trying to seek revenge for Dan Giesling, and I don't know why. I just don't see Dan Giesling being the type of person that would want Memphis to do that. Not only because I don't see him wanting that for Ian, and number two, I don't think Dan would want that for Memphis because he's putting a humongous target on his back and he's being a huge dick.
Profiling, it doesn't really match up that Dan would talk to Memphis and be like, hey, whatever you do, get Ian out of here for the sake of the bro squad. And I guess there are some things that they didn't put into this episode that happened on the live feeds as far as Memphis goes. He was talking down to, I believe it was Danny, and Danny was pretty upset about it.
Some people might think that Memphis got a good edit. However, I think that the reactions from the other housemates in their diary room did a decent job of indicating where things might be going in Memphis's land of rain.
Yep.
And it ain't gonna be happiness. People are getting pissed. So here's a question that I have for you. What do you think about the new have-nots?
I love the new system where they have to choose their replacements because it brings a dynamic to the game that's new and fresh, and it also kind of stops people being put on slop over and over and over to the point where they're just like a walking skeleton who can't do anything but sleep and like barely move around the house. So I never liked when someone was on slop multiple times in a row. I didn't think it was fair. And it also puts a dynamic in the game where you have to make a potential enemy or you have to take the strength away from one of your allies. You know, and it just really...
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah, it really puts a dynamic in there now that's going to be fun to watch because there's a lot of, like, uneasiness, you know, as far as, like, who should I pick? And everyone's like... In this episode, it was Ian's turn to pick his replacement, and he was sitting there, and okay, so Ian has got, you know, he's on the spectrum, and he's got some nervous energy, and, you know, things like make him kind of, like, you know, panic a little bit. And I think the house guests that are nice and kind, which is going to be funny because I know when I say Nicole F, I don't think Nicole F's a bad person. I think she's a good game player. I think that she does some things that piss people off, but
yes.
In this situation, I think she was just being kind because Ian went up there and you could see already he was like, any volunteers? You could see it was like starting to like make him a little bit nervous, and I think Nicole picked up on that and she was like, you know what, just because you're nervous, I'll just volunteer. I don't think that was strategy. I think that she was really being kind in that moment. Even if you don't like her in general, in that moment, I think she was just like, you know what, just pick me, Ian, it's fine. Later on, Memphis is like, why did she do that?
Memphis's face was classic. Here's the deal. It probably is out of the kindness of Nicole's heart because I don't think she truly is evil. I do not think Nicole is evil at all. But I think that maybe she might have thought, how am I going to play this? How am I going to help him get off this? I'm just going to use his anxiety as an excuse so that maybe the other house guests will accept it. I don't know if Nicole's on anyone's radar at this moment in time, at least with Cody and Memphis. So, the other question I have for Sean and everyone else that's watching, what did you guys think about Memphis forcing everyone to use their safety suite? I think it was totally, absolutely obnoxious.
Okay, so my take on this is that it was a brilliant game move, but he was doing it as a dictator, and that was the problem.
He was forcing.
Where if you bring in, like, you know, Dan or Derek or Will, you know, the evil geniuses of this game, they would have had the same thought, but they would have manipulated people into thinking that they need to do it without them knowing they're being manipulated.
Yes, convince them to make the decision on their own. Like, Christmas is a perfect one for that. Like, if you know Christmas's personality, this is the thing. Christmas is excited. She wants to play this game. She hasn't really had a full opportunity to play the game like she is now. So she's perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Memphis was like, I really need someone who's, like, gonna compete this time. We need to make sure it went. Chris like, I want to compete.
Sign me up.
Can I compete? Where? Is this way?
Like, I'm ready right now. Let's go. Yeah. And
No, it's this way.
This is where, just a perfect example, Sean. This is where Memphis is not using his noggin. He's not using the social manipulation that he totally can use.
Right.
Because here's the deal. At the very, very end, we'll just skip to the end, if you don't mind. Christmas ended up winning the safety suite. And when she walked into the room to tell him she wanted his praise, everything about her body language was, let's do a celebratory dance. She had her arms out like this. She was like, yes, let's celebrate. He was just walking around like Lurch or, I don't know, the Grinch. It was really, really bizarre to me. And that's where I feel like Memphis is not very socially intelligent at this moment in time, because there are people in this house he knows that he could use to his advantage. And he just went out and spewed it to everyone. Players like Danny, players like Nicole, they're like, what? Ian, I'm not using that. Are you kidding me?
So you got the two girls who are smart and know how to play the game, and then you have Christmas that's all like, you want me to, I'll compete, you want me to compete? Yeah!
Take a read on the room, Memphis. Easy for Memphis, harder on everyone else.
Yeah.
So Nicole Anthony, I feel terrible for her this week. I never want to see Nicole be hurt or anything bad to happen to Nicole. She seems like such a beautiful soul and so kind, and she had such a terrible season. Both her and David had the worst season last season, so it's so beautiful to have them here on this show, and it's so unfortunate. My stomach just dropped when Memphis became HOH, because I really felt Memphis is going to target these newbies. Why wouldn't he? And that is why I'm so sad that Nicole just didn't get up there and just do it. Just do it, Nicole. With some of these other players, you really are the underdog, and so is David. You have to fight every day. Every day. Don't miss a chance to fight.
So Nicole A, she should have thought about it in the way that your alliance is not in power right now. You are a target. You know, you are a potential target. You're easy pickings. Like, this is the week to compete. Even if there's 7 people competing, this is the week, because next week your alliance can win, and you know you're safe next week too. Now what happens if you don't use it this week? Let's say Janelle wins HOH next week, which there's a strong chance she can win. She's a competition beast. And, you know, and now you saved your power until next week, but then your alliance wins head of household and you wasted your power. Like, she should have competed this week. That was a mistake, and I think that mistake is going to get her kicked out of the house.
I think it's absolutely most definitely going to get her kicked out of the house. And I understood where she was coming from. She said that there are tougher competitors that were playing at the safety suite, as well as more of those tough competitors. So would she have had a chance to win? Who knows? That's part of Big Brother. You're taking a gamble. I just wish she would have gambled, and I hate that, because I can't just jump into the TV and say, Nicole, what do you have to lose? What if you did win, though? I think that was where she made her biggest mistake, was the self-doubt, not believing in herself enough to win. And if anybody says, well, Nicole probably wouldn't have won, well, that sucks. Nicole needs to have the attitude that, you know what, I'm going to go in there, and I'm going to fight for my life.
These competitions, like, or at least this competition, was pretty even. Like, anyone could have won this. There wasn't, like, you know, sometimes it's a little bit more for the boys, sometimes a little bit more for the girls. But this one was even. Literally anyone could have won this one, you know. And I know Christmas is really proud of herself for winning that, and, you know, she's really high up on her competition win. But that was honestly a competition that, you know,
I couldn't have won, because I was like, shouldn't you put him in the middle? Like, wouldn't it make more sense to put it in the middle?
Well,
absolutely no one did that.
I don't think they were allowed to. There was a ring around it. I think they had to be in that ring.
Oh, because if you put it in the middle, then that was cheating.
Cheating.
Alright then.
Stinking cheating.
I would have been cheating then. So Christmas won the safety suite, And she ended up having a conversation with Ian, and Ian kind of said, hey, prior, would you save me if you won the safety suite? And she did.
The Memphis Telephone Alliance, they basically said if you win, save someone outside of our alliance so it doesn't look sneaky. We don't want people picking up on our alliance. But that was all the instructions he gave. And he's been super like tight-lipped with his alliance about who he wants to nominate. He's not telling anyone. The only person he's talking to is Cody. He won't talk to anyone else. So they're in the dark. So Christmas is completely in the dark. All she knows is if I win, I need to save someone outside of my alliance. And then Ian comes up and says, hey, if you win, will you save me? And she's like, hey, this is perfect. He's smart. He's a good player. He's a good person to have on our side. Sure, let's do it.
Yeah.
And so she goes, she wins, and she saves Ian, which was kind of the instructions she got from Boss Hog Memphis. And then Memphis is like, that was my target. Why did she save Ian? That was my target. It's like,
Yeah.
she didn't know.
I feel like that's why he was giving her that cold little shrug of ignorance, in my opinion, when she went up into the HOH room and she was super excited. Because, hello, Memphis, wake up. She didn't know. She didn't know. Cody said, did you talk to her? And Memphis said yes. But Memphis, Cody, he didn't say what you're thinking he said. Because he's not that smart. Socially, I don't think he's that smart. Unfortunately, because of his ego. The ego gets you in trouble every time.
Our video that we put up on Friday or Saturday, we said this telephone alliance is going to crumble because when you play telephone,
yes,
communication gets broken.
Yes.
The very first time they try to do something as an alliance, communication breaks down.
Yes. I'm so interested when the house literally flips on Memphis. I will say that it was just really manipulative to use the fact that Nicole didn't use the safety suite as a way of putting her up was just a real shitty thing to do, because in all honesty, I don't really think that was the main reason. That was just his excuse. His main reason was he's going to put her up anyways because he's trying to haze the two of them because they're not really all-stars in his eyes.
I ordered you to use your ability and you disobeyed a direct order.
This is the Game of Thrones. Yeah, I don't like that he's trying to haze David.
Yeah, so his like haze, I don't know if they edited this out of this episode or they're going to put it into the next episode, but David was really upset at that buddy comment. And he went to the storage room and he was pretty heated about it. And I guess he was talking to the camera about how, I'm a grown-ass man. I'm 30 years old. You can't talk to me like that. And a lot of other house guests also felt that Memphis was pretty condescending toward David. And so one by one, they were kind of going into the storage room, like, consoling David. He didn't need that attention, nor did he expect it. But then it dawned on him, hey, like, this is a good opportunity for me to kind of get some people on my side. So then he started playing it up a little bit in the storage room, like, maybe faking a little bit of, like, watery eyes and stuff. And he had quite a few house guests come into the storage room to, like, say, hey, that was messed up, man. He shouldn't have talked to you that way. And he's like, I know, it just got me really upset. I've been through a lot.
Good.
And he was playing, so, hey, David's playing some Big Brother finally.
David's here to play, and I want to add to that. So you guys, in case you didn't already know, this is what Memphis said. He said, David, you're at the grown-ups table now. Buddy, you have to prove yourself. I have two things to say about that. One, that was very pompous. Two, David set himself up for that, though. And I said that in our last vlog, that, he's pretending like he's playing the dumb card. I don't know what the veto is. He's playing that card, and so now, guess what? It bit him right in the ass. However, when he went into the diary room, it seems like he lit a fire under his ass. Memphis did. I want to see David wake up now. David, are you woke? I hope so. Let's see you play Big Brother, for real. I'm really sad for Nicole. I feel like she is putting one foot in the grave. She's ready to go. Because she said, something that I don't enjoy that she said is she's not going to just shiver in her boots and just do what he says. The only problem is, Nicole, you're playing Big Brother. You wouldn't do that in real life. Trust me, neither would I. I'd want to stick my foot right up his ass. But this is Big Brother. You have to fight for your life. And so, unfortunately, he used your decision to not want to shiver in your boots against you. And that is going to send you home. Nicole, that is going to send you home. Sometimes you have to literally eat shit in the Big Brother house, Nicole. And unfortunately, because you didn't choose to eat shit, you're going to be really eating it now.
Yeah, I was a little worried that the reason, she said it's my gut, but I'm a little worried it was her pride, because she got a direct order to do something from a alpha, egotistical male. And
trust me, girl, I don't want to listen to people like that either.
Yeah, and so her inner feminist came out, was like,
Yeah.
no, I'm not doing it because you just told me to, but I think in this situation, she should have put that on the side and thought about her gameplay. And competing this week would have been in her best interest. And then she also should have struck a deal with Chris Mistersolon, just like Ian did.
Yes, because you guys, just to let you know, Nicole put up a little cute video on our TVCO that we all work for, and she said she doesn't want to have a power veto or any competition that has to do with endurance or balance or anything like that. And I do believe this most current POV is something of that nature, which is not going to fare well for Nicole. So if you don't want a spoiler, we're going to go ahead and tell you that Nicole did not win the POV, and neither did David. Memphis won the POV, you guys. So things are 1,000% not looking very well for either of our newbies or
21s.
rookies.
Our Big Brother 21ers.
Yeah.
But it's going to be really interesting to continue watching the live feeds, because now Memphis is HOH, plus he's got the veto that he won. I really hope that he does some damage to his reputation this go around, so that the cracks in his foundation will start to form, because, like we said before, we are Team Janelle and Kaser, and the more Memphis destroys his alliance, the better it's going to be, because they will eventually turn on him. They're finally going to have enough of Memphis, and
I do wonder this, guys. I do think Cody has potential to be a really great player. I do. And I think Cody does have a more sensitive side to him than Memphis does, 100%. And when Cody said to Memphis, hey, didn't you ask her any questions? That tells me that Cody maybe, just maybe, has this much of a doubt as to how Memphis is playing his game. Because also, too, when he was having everyone call out who they were going to choose for their have-not, Cody was sitting back like this. Did you see him? I feel like Memphis said something rude to David at that time, too, when he said that he had to go on slot, buddy. And I felt like Cody was just kind of like, I don't know, for me, like that type of body language when you're sliding back behind someone and you're going like this, I don't know. Maybe I'm reading something different. My whole point is I'd love to see Cody maybe start doubting Memphis and his decisions, and maybe they don't have their alliance together anymore.
I'm going to say right now, and popular or unpopular, I don't care. I think Nicole F. is making some smart game moves as far as protecting herself and keeping her aligned with the right people. And I think Ian is playing a great game, not even really being in a solid alliance and keeping himself completely safe, and getting people to save him and use their powers on him, and he's not even in an official alliance with them. So right now, they're my two best players. I think Janelle and Kaser are just like, I mean, how can you be the two biggest targets in the house and not be targeted? So they're playing a solid game. It's really exciting. Right now, I'm rooting for Ian. He's my number one.
Well, this most recent episode, my favorite person was Davon. I really loved her opening up in the diary room. I think everyone needed to see that. It was very positive, and it was very genuine and heartfelt coming from her perspective on things. And I think that the world needs to see someone like Davon that's, I think, a great role model. She is doing amazing in my eyes. I like Davon. She's my favorite house guest this week.
I'm glad that Big Brother is not editing all that stuff out.
Yeah, Kaser's had some great conversations as well. This is turning out to be a pretty great season. It's going to be really sad to see Nicole go home. Really, really sad. I wanted to see her do so much better.
She might not.
But who knows? That's exactly right, you guys. Things could flip and turn in so many different ways, because you know what? It's BB, and that's what happens.
It's BB, bitches.
Sometimes they throw you for a loop.
Oh, one last thing before we go. I did hear on one of our many podcasts that we listened to, and I would credit them if I can remember, but I can't remember which one I heard it from.
I'll let you know.
But they were saying that they've actually signed, it slipped, like one of the house guests said it before they cut away on the live feeds, that once they're evicted, they can't go home. They have to go back into sequester again. So that leads a strong chance that there's going to be a battle back.
I would love that. Yeah, so that means Keisha has not been sent home fully. She's still in sequester.
Yeah, so
I couldn't say that word for a second.
Do you remember what podcast I was on?
I think it's Rob has a podcast, guys.
See, I was going to say I think it's Rob too, but I think it was when Rob had like multiple people on his podcast. So shout out to Rob has a podcast, because when he said that, that's cool insight that I didn't know about.
Yeah, you guys, they give awesome insight onto BB.
Yeah, so there might be a battle back, and if there is, woohoo! That's going to be so exciting.
Yeah.
I love battle backs.
Yeah, so maybe our little Nicole Anthony will have a chance after all, even if she doesn't go home this week.
Yep, so guys, that's all we got for you today. Big Brother 22, Sunday edition. We'll be back here on Friday.
Yes, we'll be back on Friday, you guys, to talk about what happened the rest of this week, okay? We hope to see you Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We're so grateful
Boom.
for you. Alice would love for you guys to check out her Fur Baby Fridays. Okay.
Yep.
And be a friend of ours here on the YouTube, okay?
Yep, and if you want to interact with us live and also a lot of other Big Brother commentators, download the TVCO app. It's free.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great app. It's another social media device, and it's easy to get with your people. You can find your Big Brother people and be a part of all the live streams that are just Big Brother Talk live. And you'll be able to talk to us directly, and we can respond back to you live. It's great. Download it. Life After Neverland. Just take out the E's. And that's all we got for you, right?
We do, and we love you. Thank you for watching.
Till next time. Peace out, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.